morning. Food for thought. Today, all I have is eggs. No potatoes. No peas. No meat. Woe is me. But yeah. Did you know the white hats that chefs wear have 100 little pleats in them? Pleat. And that's because it's to remind them that there's 100 ways to make eggs. And when it comes to me making eggs, I only know how to make boiled eggs, fried eggs, maybe scrambled, or fried as in omelet-shaped eggs, but nothing in it, boiled, scrambled. So there's 97 other ways of making eggs that I don't actually care about. Well, Benedict Arnold, isn't that one? Is that an egg? I don't know. Sunny side up? Eating it raw? Okay, I know some, but I don't eat those. But yeah. So yesterday we had a snow day. I was kind of like, it's not even snowing, but it started snowing around like 11. And it didn't freeze or anything. And later, I had to drive in that to go to therapy. Driving all slow and stuff. Cars behind me as if they don't know that it's snowing. All up in my ass. Cars speeding on the side like they don't know that they're gonna. Then we stop at the light and the cars are like, and they're like these people, man. But I got there on time. It's in like this had a little driveway, and that was all icy, and I'm all like, but yeah. So 2023, I need to figure out how to make my stories, how to do something with my stories. 'Cause I think there's something there. Because I went to my therapist and she's like, I have to leave early today, okay? Just because, we got to wrap it up. I'm like, okay. So exactly, I was checking my watch, like, okay, we got to wrap it up. She's like, okay, I'm sorry. I was like, it's okay. And then I said, she said, what do you mean? And then we ended up going like an extra 10 minutes. I felt bad telling her stories. It was just me. I'm telling you, a lot of these are just X-Files. Like, this happened. Like, why did that happen? But yeah. So I didn't get much work done. I didn't call the guy to let him know that I'm available to do the freestyle thing. Because he's really busy. He's like organized all this thing. And I just... if I would have set it up earlier, it would have been perfect. Because I knew he asked me like 2 weeks ago. So I could have notified him at work, said, hey, I'm not coming. But it was just weird because Thursday would have been, I'm not coming in, I'll come in later. And then Friday would have been, I can leave earlier, I'll come in, but I have to leave. So I couldn't think of any good reasons. And Thursday passed. So I ended up just emailing him this morning on, I'm not feeling so well, which is true. I'm not bedridden, but I mean, this week, the kids, they would, as I said, they walk in, they cough, and then by lunchtime, they're going back home. And these are kids that are always like, nah, now they're just like, there's something wrong when kids are not jumping up and down, especially loud ones. Quiet ones, you can't really tell the difference. Like, I don't know if you're sick or just being yourself. So I do feel like I'm in there with the germs. And these are kids, so they ain't doing anything. They be all in your face. Can you help me? And you get all up in there like, what can I help you with? And there's like, I'm like, ugh. But it's a mind thing, I like to believe. My mind's telling me, no, I don't want to get sick. But it's important because if I get sick and come home, then It's going to make my dad worried. Oh my gosh, you're sick. Go to the hospital. But then he might get what I got from the kids, and then it's just going to really tear up his 89-year-old body. So it's important. I'm whatever. So I sent a message to the principal, a message to my company, a message to the teacher. I'm thinking, should I send one to my coworker? I told her on Wednesday I'm not coming on Friday. So she might be like, the principal will be like, yeah, Matthew's not coming. Like, yeah, he told me. Like, how do you tell you? He told me on Wednesday. How did he know he's going to be sick on Wednesday? So I'm worried. Maybe I should give her a heads up. Because you know how people be. It wouldn't even be her fault. It's not like I told her not to say anything. But, yeah. Is there any Atlanta, the TV show, fans? Like, I haven't... That's what I did yesterday. I watched 2 episodes instead of doing other stuff. I did other stuff, but I just liked it. Like, it's like... For me, season 3 feels like... what is it called? Black... What is it? Black... Like a Twilight Zone, but Black Ice. Is it Black Ice? Black Love? Black... I don't remember. But, like dystopian. Black Love, Black Heart, Black Ball, Black... I can't remember. It's gonna... Usually I don't do this, but I want to know what the hell it is. Alright, so don't mind me, I am searching on my iPad. Black Ice sounds familiar, but let me see. Black hole sun, won't you come? Is it Black Ice? Nope, it wasn't Black Ice. We're gonna go with shows that are like Twilight Zone on Netflix. And it gave me a list, 10 shows to watch if you like Twilight Zone. You get Tales from the Crypt, Black Mirror. I was close. Black Mirror. But so like Black Mirror, it's a perfect name if that's the direction it went in, but it just shows, like the episode I watched last night, all the black people were suing all the white people because their great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were slave owners and they wanted their money. And this guy, white guy, is like being hounded. I want my money. And he's talking to his friends and he's just like, I'm not white. I'm 76% whatever. And then by the end of the thing, it shows the twisted reality where now he's the busboy and all the people in the restaurants are black people. Kind of reverse. It's really... So I was like telling my therapist, you should watch this because it is it'd be like if you're trying to explain whatever, like you gotta watch Friends. You gotta watch Sex and the City because it's a different lifestyle. Some people live it. I don't live the Friends, Seinfeld, Cheers, Sex and the City, Office, or The Office, and so on. I don't really know about that. Like Seinfeld was hard to watch at first, like, or Friends, because the scenarios are different. Like if you're watching you get what each culture has their own thing. So if you're watching a show that's primarily showing that culture and you're an outsider to the culture, you're just like, wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. And it's based on something, right? Like if I were to make a TV show about this, it'd be me doing this. Kind of like iCarly. Never seen it, but it's reflective of the generation of people being online all the time. I believe. I didn't see it. I don't know what it was about. I saw something really interesting the other day. It was Raven Simone. Is that her name? I don't know. But you know, Raymond. Raven. Bill Cosby's granddaughter? The the Nickelodeon show where she goes. So she was saying, in the same way that Nas is like, hip hop is dead. In the same way Pete Rock, this mumble rap. She was saying, I don't know about these new generations of Nickelodeon TV shows, but my generation was the bomb. And it's like a never ending, everyone has to like, no, I think it's built in our DNA to be nostalgic. Maybe there's some kind of code in there that makes people so fiercely, but like she's just like, she's an OG in the Nickelodeon space, right? And then she's just kind of like, well, you guys ain't doing shit. No, I didn't really watch her. I knew of it, and I might have seen a couple. But I guess her era was also included with Kim Possible and Zach and Cody and all of that. I think she's on the end of that, but I was in the beginning of it. But I remember Nick at Night, Dick Van Dyke, Mary Tyler Moore, because it was on. That's all we had. Ren and Stimpy. Is that Nickelodeon or I don't remember. But I don't know. My dad was saying that too. He was like, because he stayed be watching Maury. And the kid's not yours. I would love to. I don't think I would love to, but it'd be interesting if I could find someone who was on one of the shows and I'm like, so why'd you do it? And you're just like, hey man, you got a free airfare and a hotel and they give you some new clothes to wear? Shit. Plus I got these new t-shirts. I was on Maury. The kid ain't mine. I mean, if they got a plan, then, you can't hate on someone's plan. Because they just be out there telling all their business and shit. They be shouting and screaming, and the guy's like, oh, I don't think the kid's mine. His finger is like a little bent right there. My fingers are straight. Clearly, the kid ain't mine. She's like, that's your kid? Look at his thumb. He has the same thumb as you. But that's how it works. And then the whole thing is like, it's like a DNA test, but you can get a DNA test over the counter, I think. Do they sell that at CVS? Little swab thing? I don't know. But it's just, but he was saying, my dad, he was saying how, because usually the most incriminating evidence is they have the phone, like, and I saw this on your phone. And then he's like, there's no privacy anymore. Everyone is on their phones. And back in my day, we didn't have people using their phones to incriminate each other. And I'm like, because phones didn't exist. I got the first phone in this house. Well, my brother had a cell phone, Nokia. It wasn't a digital. It was actually just a boop, 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 boop with little red LEDs. And when I saw it one day, I saw it in his room and I bump, 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 and the phone rang downstairs like, oh my gosh. 3 years later, I'd get my cell phone, 16, when I was 18. But it was analog, so you couldn't do much except call. Then the digital ones came out, blah, 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 blah. But, now that everyone has a phone, like the George Floyd thing wouldn't have happened if your phone... Imagine if phones existed with Emmett Till. There would be someone like, bloop. Then maybe he would still be alive, but then there would be no movie. I didn't see the movie. I don't want to see the movie. I don't like watching anything that's kind of, you have to watch. I believe the woman king, she said, if you don't watch this, you don't support black people or something to that extent. I don't watch movies because of black people are in it. I watch it because I like it, and it happens to be like Atlanta. I guess it's a show about being woke or whatever, or something like that. I don't watch it for that. I watch it because it's just weird. And I was looking at the list of who's making it. So it was created by, what is his name? Oh my gosh. Um, Glover, Danny Glover. Is it Danny? I think it's Danny. But there's an executive, there's a whole bunch of other names around his name. And then there's a Stephen Glover. I didn't Google who that is. A whole bunch. So it's a team of people. It's just not his, unless he just made up a bunch of other names. But a team worked on it. It's solid. I don't see any inconsistencies with anachronisms, things that are not time. Like if I was making a movie about me doing this, and the video quality was on some 12K, it doesn't make sense because maybe this is 4K, but the lighting and it's all a little grainy. It gives it this look. And if I was doing this a couple years ago, I'd be using an iPhone 5, and if I kept going backwards, each camera would have a different. Like at one point, we couldn't even get this what is it, 16 by. We wouldn't get the verticals because the cameras would always, like the cameras were bigger. So if you were putting on the side, it'd be weird if y'all. So time specific to whatever, but yeah. So it was just funny. It's like, you know, you didn't have phones. That's why you didn't have these. It's similar to like, at one point, McDonald's was just new, you know? Look at me, selling hamburgers. So there was an obesity link to McDonald's and Coca-Cola and all that. It was like it was a family thing. Like people would love to go to McDonald's. Like I went there for my birthday once, and I was happy because they had a little merry-go-round inside the facility. Downtown, I believe. So things change. Like that's just the way it is. Like when I look at some videos of people in Japan making videos, it is different, man. Like I see them having these huge, like when I was there, I saw this guy, there was a group of them, a group of artists, and they all were performing together. When I was in Japan, people didn't perform together. It was kind of like, we were here first and we're better than you. Of course, you know, rap people. It's like, whatever, we'll do our thing over here and do our thing over there. Or they do their thing over there. But I saw this event, it was just like a bunch of people, and they had a whole big room, and they had this moon, like a fake moon, but it was like huge, like it would take up this whole wall, like an actual 3D moon. I don't know if the moon moves. I was gonna go. I think I had to work. I just saw it on the Instagram. I wasn't invited to go, but it was really cool. They were doing, or if you Google what is it called? Hotel Love Hotel. That's the name of the event. So it's like a hotel space, like a suite, top floor, and these 20-something kids with, you know, older people, over 20 people, but it's a young people's thing. For young people, by young people, and they just be wild and out, man. We didn't have those opportunities back in my day because Japanese people weren't letting us own property and stuff. But things change. I don't hate on them. I never went because I felt kind of out of place. But most of my friends did go at some point, and they're like, it's crazy, man. But, you know, when I'm looking, it just, and then people perform at these events. Like, it's just, or I can go on and on. Like, things are different now. You know, the times are different. Like, when I went to Japan, when I was in Japan, you couldn't take like, if you pulled out your camera, they'd be up in your video. Nope. Now they got the little, this is our Instagram, please take picture. Picture okay. There's one where I was at the shrine doing my thing, and the guy came out there, and he's all like, "What are you doing here, taking pictures of a shrine?" Now there's like, take pictures, tag us, hashtag us, because they understand how that works. My eggs are cold, by the way. But today's cool. Today was payday. They actually paid me on time, and I'm looking forward to going to the bank, taking out some money, putting in a little envelope, coming home and saying, "Here, Dad," to help out. Cause he'd be worried. No, I'm here. That's what I'm here for, to help you. You ain't gotta do this by yourself. I'm here. But he's just it's all that. Cause that's real. A lot of people just talk. But when you hand, like someone hit me up. I don't even know if it's true. I don't think it's true. But someone's like, they're like, "Hey, what would you do with $2,000 on Instagram?" I'm like, wow. I was gonna go into detail, but I don't know them. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna buy a new computer. It's about time. Because right now, this computer, as I said before, it won't let, so I get all these software and updates and all that. Boom. Sometimes they're free, so you just update it to 2.5 to 3. Pigments is up to 4, whatever. But then when you try to use the plugin in said computer, it'd be all like crackling and shit. And it's annoying. So then I got to use the most basic plugins I have. Otherwise, and like some of these things, the sounds, they're meant to sound like the authentic 1940 piano. I got Alicia Keys piano. They went in there and they sampled every chord, every note, every velocity, every this. But when I play her piano, it'll be all like, dude. I can't think of it, but it won't let me play it. It's really annoying. Like, so I need a new computer just so I could play my old. But it's always that when you get the new computer, everything is like right on. It's like your computer's probably here. Things are catching up. Then it catch up, and then it's just kind of starting to go this way. Same with my iPad. It was cool when I had it. It's still cool now, but now things are cracking. Anyway, so I said, yeah, I would get a new computer. It's a she. She said, okay, give me your Cash App tag. Now I feel weird about this because it's so random. Maybe she's for real. Maybe she's a fan. Maybe that's what she does. Because that's something I always wanted to do. When I amass enough money to be comfortable, I don't got to be a billionaire to do this. Just be comfortable. Just start. Like on Bandcamp, you could do this. You could be like, oh, your song's $10. Well, I'm going to give you $60. When that happens to me, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Oh. I'm just so excited. But I don't trust. I just feel like there's a scam. I don't even have Cash App. All I have is PayPal. I don't know about Vimeo and all those things. But yeah, man. But it feels good to be able to help my dad out. And money talks, Me saying I'm here is not the same thing as here. But I still need to do my budget. I started pulling out the Excel. And I did a 6-month projection. But like yesterday was a snow day, so I'd have to account for it. You gotta. And that's where I always get tripped up, because if you just use the numbers, but then things happen. Like when I got this computer, because the other one broke. I go in there with the money like, well, the computer that we said that we have for you is no longer here. However, if you give us $300 more, you can get the newest model that hasn't even released yet, but you can get it. How can I resist that? Feels like their strategy. So I forked over the $300 that I wasn't anticipating on giving. It be like that. Black Friday came well, it's almost been a month. No, not a month. Like 3 weeks ago. I was getting stuff that I didn't even know I wanted. Because it's just a Black Friday. But I'm black. It is Friday. And I'll tell you, I haven't even opened up. Like, I got a lot of softwares and sounds. Didn't even open them up. My microphone didn't even touch it. I bought it, 2 weeks ago. I tested it to make sure it works. And I was just sitting there waiting for a nice block of time for me to... I'll do it over the break. But it'd be like that, man. You gotta factor in all this stuff. But today, I gotta work on my koala battle flip thing. There's a Christmas flip that somebody sent to me. And yeah. There's a sample thing I told you about in New York today. I want to go so bad. I was thinking about driving up there, but I haven't driven to New York in like 20 years. No, more than that. Let's see. I'm 40, 20, maybe 20 years. And it's wet. It's wet out there and rainy. But I want to go, man, because I want to be where other beat makers are. Like, it's an event for beat makers, sample makers. And it'd be such a great event. Go up there and just be like, yeah. Because my thing is, I just need to see it. Firsthand works. Like, I seen it. I was on top of the mountain. I seen what the sunset looks like above the clouds. I seen it. I experienced it. Or reading it from someone or hearing it firsthand from someone. The more apart it gets is like, it doesn't really matter. My friends, I don't know your friend. I don't care. I mean, of course I want your friend to be good and all that. But I don't know him. How do you know he's not making it up? Because that's your friend, not my friend. But yeah, as I said, man, today I'm not going to go to work because I'm not feeling good. But it's true. I feel a little like my body is fighting something. Like, but yeah. Like, you know how you could feel like your bones and stuff? Like, I know my body. So it's not a full lie. But just kind of relax, drink your fluids, whatever. But yeah. Anything else? Anything else? Oh, so I don't know if you're watching, but someone emailed me asking about what beat machine they should get for their 12-year-old son or daughter. Could be, I don't know. I thought it was a great question. I did reply back, but just to add to that. So, in my feeling, children are really clever, smart. So if they're interested in it, they will surpass us. Like, they're just gonna pew. But if they're not, like, you know how kids are. So the key would either be to get them something like a super beginner thing, like Koala app, $7, GarageBand free on iPhone. Koala app is available on Androids. GarageBand isn't. Let them play around with that. Point them to some YouTube videos. I got some, but there's much better people out there making tutorial look at me videos. And see what they do. If they're like really into it, then I would venture into like above $100. Because really there's apps, $7, $20 apps. And then the next jump would be like hardware, which is, you can get it used. I wouldn't recommend used. unless it works. But but you're looking at $100, and then from the 100, 250 point, I don't even know if there's a 500 point, unless you're getting used like older stuff. But I wouldn't recommend older stuff because it doesn't play well. I mean, it is what it is, but if you get something new, you can plug it into your computer with the USB-C. If you get something old, you would have to get like a USB-A and something to interface. You had to add more stuff. And ultimately, depending on your workflow, you would want to get your sounds and get them in the computer or whatever. And then hardware, there is a curve. So my feeling is you start with the software, the emulations. Koala is an emulation of the SP4, more or less. Beatmaker is an emulation of an MPC, more or less. There's an MPC app, but I wouldn't really get that. It's weird. GarageBand is an emulation, not emulation, but it's very similar to Logic. So that will get them used to a DAW-like thing. But I guess the trick is just to make sure the interest is there in the beginning, because I've seen it with adults, man. They get the biggest, shiniest, new whatever, and then they don't even. I went to a studio. This man had like the brand new MPC 2000. Or I went to another place. He had an old MPC, whatever. And every time I came to his house, it was just there, not turned on, not being used. Now, I ain't trying to throw shade at him, because in my house, for the longest time, I had my Machine MK3 on the floor next to an MPC Live on the floor. I had a Push 1 controller on the floor. It was on the floor so long that it got like dust on it. And then it melted because of summer or something. So then the dust kind of got all gelled up in there. It was so disgusting. It seemed to be a thing. The rubber they used just does that. I checked online and everyone was like, yeah, the new one doesn't do it. So I had all this equipment just on the floor. Had controllers. And then one day I was just like, you know what? This gotta go. So I bought tables to put everything on the tables. But now they're off the floor, but they're just on the tables, not doing anything. So that could happen, But so if you start cheap, start with apps, because they already got phones and iPads, and they're the future. They're kind of a hybrid, but like, here's my iPad. All right, let's pull up something real quick. So all these are all apps, music apps. You see, got all, yep. And then down here, apps. How do you get out? I mean, all these on the bottom are apps. I was trying to get organized, but I just kept buying all these apps. But here's Koala. I'm always talking about Koala, right? So, am I saving this? I guess. I don't even know what I made on it. Okay, so here's how Koala be looking, and it's real straightforward. So right now, here's the mic. The mic is picking up voice. So if I did like a, all right, let me hold it. All right, you can see that it recorded. So all right, let me hold it. And then we're gonna do like a snare, and we're gonna do like a hi-hat. And then you could go in. All right, come in here. And I'm just dragging the sound. And that's gonna be our snare. I ain't never did it backwards in this, but I don't even have to do all that. So let me say I'm gonna make a quick sequence. All right. And then let's say I wanted a melody. I don't know if This is unplanned. This is impromptu, so don't hate on me. All right. So here, so my samples, all right, this guy, we're gonna go to Spolines. Where the heck is, I'm sorry, I can't read upside down. All right, so here we go, Splice. And then we're gonna pop into like this one, and we're gonna go F and all right, and then I'm gonna put this over here and choke group, slide this over. All right, and then we're gonna drag this over. So you can't be dragging things over like that on a hardware. You have to copy and paste. Takes a minute. And then we're just gonna record that in there. So yeah, really easy to use, really simple, straightforward. And then when you're done, export it. It's already on an iPad. It can go up to Instagram so they can get their likes and views. You can export it to the computer. So that's why and that's Koala, $7 app. The hardware equivalent, SP404, the newest one is like $600. It does the same stuff, but it's $600. You don't know if your kids are going to be into it like that, and you'll be out of $600. The resale is pretty good, but it's kids, so they might drop it, break it. But yeah, so I say go with the apps. Find the app, and hit me up. I got most of the apps, whatever. But yeah. So if I could find a way to do that in 2023, I get excited, man. I'll teach people how to make beats on apps. So I made this video, or I think I was talking about it, but the guy like, man, you use everything. Like, they're just tools, man. I don't get hung up on what it is. I mean, at first, I didn't like the name Koala. I'm coming from MPC, Groovebox, Triton, EMU, Fat. It's all together. Koala. It's up there with Fruity Loops. I didn't get Fruity Loops, one, because they didn't make it for Mac. But two, how can you say with a straight face, I use Fruity Loops? I'm using Fruity. I use like, they changed it to FL Studio after, because they must have did some marketing. Not to say that it wasn't making bangers. It did, I believe. What's his face? Ninth Wonder made some tracks for Jay-Z. He teaches a course at NYC. He was using Fruity Loops, Little Brother, if you know the history. But yeah. But it works, and it works really fast. Versus if I were to show you what I just did in another program, it would take me at least 5 minutes, because it's the workarounds they don't. But yeah. So stay safe. Don't get sick, because that's not fun. And tomorrow's Friday. Today's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow I'm gonna feed some ducks with my friend. They're like this big. You know how I always be talking about ducks and wildlife, but they actually go to a spot where the ducks be coming up to you, and so maybe I'll try to take a picture of me feeding ducks. It'd be kind of cool. But yeah, peace. Some theme music.